on today, when they sent that first one, kind of tilted one side. Did they send back the correction? Emily talking about the other day. Yes, please.
As far as I know, they did not send back any correction. We had sent them an intergovernmental agreement offer. They counter-offered with their own edits and changes. And we sent a counter offer incorporating some of their changes, but not others. What they signed and sent over last week was their counter offer that they had sent back to us, which had certain provisions in paragraph 5 that, based on my recollection, were unacceptable. However, that's based on one reading of it. You can read it more than one way.
Yeah, that's when Tony said that he spoke up and said, well, he said, you got to read it this way. But I want to make sure that, at one point Emily said, well, yeah, they did send the wrong one, and then they're going to send, remember that? She said that in there. I didn't know what she was talking about on that.
If she said that, I don't remember.
Kim, you remember that?
Kim?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Emily said something about that? Yeah, she think they messed up and sent the wrong page or something in the conversation they put yesterday?
She thought that might have been the case, but I don't believe that's the case. I think that Jackson County just simply sent over language they were more comfortable with.
Now, I got the second letter from Jackson County on Monday. I had Stephanie copy it, send it to everybody. I checked it with the very first one that we got, and there's no difference. It's the same letter, signed and all.
I just want to make sure they put on there Williamson County, and says Williamson County, like number 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
I catch it, or that's Tony talking, but
Yeah.
number 5 jumped out like a sore thumb, but I guess talking to that today, I felt that you don't have an issue with that. I know Greg did it first.
I don't have an issue with the language.
Yeah, on anything else you said, number 5, he says unacceptable. You're okay with it now? Conversation there today.
It was my recollection that the board had problems with it, but that's based on one reading of it. Couldn't see my copy. The draft they sent over signed says, in the part we're talking about, Williams County agrees that Jackson County will be eligible for reimbursement for roadway damage repairs due to construction traffic after acceptance of road improvements being the new road extension going north from Reed Station Road. I initially read that, and I think it was the board's understanding that meant reimbursement from Williamson County. However, this doesn't come out and say who is reimbursing Jackson County. And based on a conversation with Tony, he has indicated that his company and his subcontractors will be giving a 2-year essentially warranty on that new road for defects in construction. And if there is a defect in construction, they will repair it or reimburse Jackson County for repairing it. That's my understanding based on the most recent conversation.
That's correct. And where's he going to put that at? In
Okay.
2-year warranty? Is he going to lock it in with Jackson, or see what you're doing on that?
I don't know if it'll be I'm assuming it'll be somewhere in his contracts with his subcontractors.
Now,
But I don't.
I'll tell you point blank, I'm absolutely against that. If we're gonna have something in writing that's gonna be dealing with Williamson County and money and roads, it damn well better be in writing that we have going into it.
I push that, I think very strongly. I think these two will agree. I push putting stuff in writing very strongly the other day. And unless I see it, I'm not signing anything until I see it in writing. I know what Tony said, and as long as he puts it in his writing and shows us, which I think he will, about the 2-year warranty, because 6 months down the road, something happens on that road, they're not coming back just to say, oh, well, you're getting that money, you can just help us here. No way. No. And I think he will provide that, no problem. I think he'll get that. But we need to push for that.
now, this road is gonna be developed at the same time that this casino is being built, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay, so all the heavy equipment that we were talking about that could damage the road will not be using that road because the road's not there.
They're coming in on the
Right.
original Reed Station and then coming on Vermont and
Exactly.
then down. Now, that's where I kind of got bent out shape.
But what I was gonna say was, the damage to the new road, that's what item 5 is talking about, correct? Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my understanding.
By the time the road is complete, that heavy equipment and everything should be gone. I mean, there's no more cement trucks, there's no more cranes, they should be gone. Because the casino is being built at the same time that the road is being built. And by that time that the road is done, all the heavy lifting and everything, should have passed.
Greg asked that question. He said, oh yeah, we'll be done with that time frame, no problem. So,
Kim, you got any comment on that? Kim?
Well, on which part? The language or the timing of the road?
On your idea about, on both.
anything about that road.
Anything
and
above,
2-year
yeah.
warranty and all that stuff we talked about the other day.
Well, I think that, there has to be, first of all, there has to be a separation of what's going on with each document. I think the lines get blurred sometimes of trying to take care of each and every aspect of the project. But you have to keep the designation of the document separate. My understanding is that the Reed Station Road extension, now known as the Heron Road extension, will be completed at the same time of the casino resort. And they're both supposed to be done within a 14-month window. So I don't see how the road extension can be used for construction if it's being constructed at the same time. Jim, I think your point on that.
That was my point.
They will be using, yes, so they'll be using other roads, but you can't use a road before it's constructed, okay? It's just common sense on that.
And-
The language on the intergovernmental agreement, I think that the intergovernmental agreement has to be looked at as just the agreement between Williamson and Jackson County. And if you're not comfortable with the language in it, now is the time to revise it, send it back over to get everybody comfortable. The issue coming with Tony's 2-year warranty, that I think you have to look more towards the development agreement and have that be between the developer and Williamson County government.
Okay.
So, stay focused on your documents and where things go. Otherwise, this is going to become too muddled, and then you're going to have to take all the documents apart again. So, for the language with Jackson County government,
Mm-hmm.
are you content with what they sent back to you in not just bullet point 5, but in the whole document when you look at a year from now how you're going to operate with Jackson County?
My concern is, and I did discuss this with Greg, was that very thing. And that, after thinking about how the road is going to be built and everything, I did have a hang up with the number 5, but I think I'm comfortable with the way number 5 is. But could you explain the last sentence where it says that both counties agree to develop a schedule for which reimbursement eligibility will terminate? I'm not quite sure if I understand that correctly.
That to me is a very short cut-off sentence. I don't know what that means. What I hear when I read that sentence and when you read it out loud to me is that Jackson County would like an open door for reimbursement of expenses.
That's right. And that's the
I
problem.
don't know what the.
That's the problem with number 5. It's not laid out enough. And that's what the boogaboo the other day was. We kept talking about it. And Tony talked in circles, but I kept firing back. Greg kept firing back. That's not enough. That's leaving an open door that they're going to come back and say, Williams County, we need this, we need that. So Philip, that's got to be strong.
Right.
It's got to be.
So how do you make it stronger? What language would you like?
Well, we need to define what they're talking about there. I mean, what?
Because like I said, it sounds to me like we
It
got to
just- it just
negotiate
stops.
something else.
It just stops at the period instead of saying,
Yeah.
another sentence explaining what they're talking about.
It's leading to another discussion, leading to another discussion and negotiation on when to do this.
Well,
a separate
how
negotiation.
to get over that point. And I understand that Greg is not he's not having a good day today, you know. But that to me sounds like very familiar language that would be used in road construction language. Does it make sense for Greg to get hold of Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's supposed
Better
to do that.
define that.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to do that, they're gonna walk through that. Yeah, at some point, he said he'd talk to Mitch about it, so I think that's what the game plan is, so. Yeah, otherwise, I'm not, look, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and I think we're going over and beyond what the call to do what we should do here. And sit here and leave an open door to them to come back with us on something else, which they will do. No, it's gotta be cleaned up.
Here's something I have a real problem
So
with. Go ahead,
You
Kim.
can't hear,
Go ahead, Kim.
you can't hear what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Well, so do you want to, when Greg is feeling better, hopefully he'll feel better soon, do you want to direct him, Brent, to get a hold of Mitch and define that sentence
Yeah, I
so
thought,
that
I
it
think
can
it'd be a
be
good idea.
expanded upon?
yeah, he was texting me a minute ago, he's not far from, I'll talk to him in a little bit when he gets out. Cause he knows how I feel about number 5, so he feels the same way, so.
Well,
Okay.
I talked to Greg yesterday afternoon, and I think he does have his concern on that last part. I think though, as far as the other part, the timing of the road and everything, he expressed to me that he might be a little more comfortable the way that reads, because the road is going to be not going to be used. It's got to be built. So if it's going to be built, it can't be used for the construction of that. Now, my question is, and I think I discussed this with Greg too, and I may have mentioned this to you at one point. What happens if Cindy decides to all of a sudden develop the hotel? Because in the way I'm thinking, this number 5 talks about the construction damage due to the casino. Well, we know the casino is going to be built at the same time. Roads not ready for it yet, so they're going to use other roads. But now Cindy decides they're going to start the hotel. The road is complete. Now we have heavy equipment going on that road again. But at that point, in my eyes, I think that's all on Jackson County.
You brought up that same thing I was talking about. Yeah, that is on Jackson, but, and it is what I said the other day. I said, Tony, you're a businessman. You're gonna come in, build the casino, and you're gonna be gone. It's another job. At least that's holding the bag. Now, at this point, he kept saying, and I was pretty livid on this, that what is their guarantees to keep them off our road coming in on construction? Ron, this is something you talked about the roads, naming the roads, whatever. And he says, well, there's one part in there that says roads with an S, means all roads they fix and maintain. Well, he said he's gonna put up signage at the end of Cambria Road stuff that says, all heavy traffic must go around to blah, 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 and come in on Reed Station Road. And I said, well, what if they don't? Because if I was in business in Williamson County, time is money. You're gonna I'm gonna take my truck right down Vermont, shoot up to the casino, and I'm gonna turn around and go right back out Vermont. He said, well, if they do, they're gonna get $1,000 fine. I said, really? Who's gonna enforce that? I go, and how's that gonna happen? Well, he didn't really have an answer on that. He said, but the most jobs he's done, almost everybody abides by the rules as part of the contract drawn up. But if they don't, then what? So he said, I think that's where it says we will fix up the roads, which means all roads. And I still have a problem with that. He's gonna be gone, and
So number 6 almost really ties into the end of number 5 as well. I mean, you're talking about a reimbursement eligibility period. They're together.
Well,
They are together.
Jim, I have a suggestion for you on number 5 that addresses the question that you brought up with, okay, we're just dealing with casino construction. What if in 24 months we start the hotel construction
Yeah,
or the water park construction?
correct.
Okay, so I think in number 5 that you should probably include a sentence or something that says the expense reimbursements for road repairs terminate as of a particular date, or at the conclusion of the construction or the opening day of the casino, something to designate the distinction between the development project,
Correct.
so that it can't stretch into hotels 2 years from now or water parks, 36 months down the road, that this is for the casino, resort, any other construction project, you'll have to come to a separate agreement.
No, I agree. I think, the opening of the casino would be a good stopping point. Whether the road's finished or not. Maybe, they may have had a delay on the road or something.
Well, you may want to guarantee it at a certain point, but the main thing is it's up to a certain date, and the road repairs only involve anything going on until the construction of the casino.
Correct.
That each level of this development, you'll have to come to a separate agreement.
Correct.
I think
Now, Brent, on your issue with
Which one?
how you kept people doing, going off of the construction route, okay? That's going to be a very, very difficult thing to do. Short of putting up a camera system, I don't know that there's any way to guarantee you'll catch anyone.
Oh, I
So
agree.
I don't know how to.
You're not gonna have your sheriff.
That's my problem, I agree. That's my problem.
So do you want to invest as part of the project in a camera system of some way?
Well, we'll figure something out as we get closer, but I want to just tell you what Greg says here. Greg just texted back, said number 5 is bad stuff. He said it needs to be much more clear. So he hasn't changed his position at all. He said he'll talk to Mitch, he goes, a lot of it needs to be taken out and made clearer.
Mhm.
But we're all sitting there agreeing, it's
Well,
bad.
Here's the reality is, if we can't agree on what the language is, the interpretation, if we can't agree on what the interpretation is before it's signed, there's no way in hell outside of a court, it's going to be agreed upon outside of the agreement, after the fact.
Well, what got me is they signed this, but they didn't give us a chance to look at it or come back with a counter. They just signed it, and that bothered me, because that looks like almost a
Well-
sticky situation.
Well, Brent, let me say this though, okay? One, we're assuming that there was some form of bad intentions there. But the reality is that, Jackson County is also dealing and struggling with COVID-19 issues. And you, along with Emily, I think Emily was keeping up with these quite a bit as well. And so out of perhaps some form of what they were feeling as pressure, they were having a hard time getting a hold of the state attorney's office to get this language done. This may have been done in a hurried fashion to get something back to you to say, hey, this is what we're comfortable with. There may not have been any bad intentions. It just may need further work.
Well, man, I'm not suggesting bad intention. I just think we should have a chance to look at it and approve it, come on, suggest before they start signing it.
Well, maybe that's the way they do things in their county too,
Greg says, just make number 5 more to our liking, and it'll be okay. In other words, it's not finished.
Well,
Number 5 not finished.
and I agree. I think it has some, which it needs to be altered somehow.
So what do we need to do to alter it?
Okay. Number 1, I think we need to put, like what Kim said, which is a timeline on there of when this ends. The opening of the casino, whether that road's complete or not, maybe, or, that's just something to start with.
Well, now, Jim, here's what I think, okay? I think that Greg and Mitch really need to help us understand and be really clear on the language developing this schedule,
Mhm.
okay? And that's where the termination date comes in. Because that statement is absent a close end, the close parentheses of this is when it ends.
Uh-huh.
So I think putting the ending date, if Greg can get us the information and then Greg and Mitch agree, okay, what makes sense on this project is after this road is complete, you know, here's the end parentheses, the date on anything to be reimbursed because of the construction of the casino.
Okay.
Here-
And
here-
can we tie the end date, the end loop in with Greg working with Mitch?
Here's a situation I see too, guys, is we're talking about a timeline here, but this is actually for the construction of the casino.
Correct.
But this is really a three-phase operation. Phase one, the casino. Phase two, a hotel. Phase three, a water park. The hotel and the water park are not going to be built simultaneously. So you've got three different phases regarding the roadway here. And the problem that I have, we're not going to have Tony being the construction person more than likely for phase two and phase three. He's here for phase one and phase
Yes, he
one
is.
only.
That's correct.
No, he's for all three.
I don't think so.
Wait, no, he is part of it because he's with the Keel family. So some of it Cindy's involved in pretty much on her own. So he's here for most of it, yes.
Mhm.
Well, I'll say the majority. I won't say all of it. I'll
Okay,
say the majority.
But we still got, with the three phases, the Williamson County roads are going to be utilized, whether we like it or not. We can set up a fine, $1,000 fine. The implementation of $1,000 fine is going to be hard to enforce because you have to have a sheriff's department that's willing to have people sit there and nail these trucks. If they would do that, that would help. But we can't assume that that's going to happen.
No, you can't. Dump two on the road during the day.
Now, are we talking while they're building the casino?
Yeah, the
How
casino,
can
the
these trucks,
hotel,
but how can these trucks go on that? You're talking about the new road.
they're not gonna
No,
use the new
no,
road. That's the
right.
problem.
Right.
Even
Vermont.
after the new road is built and
Right.
we're doing phase
Okay,
two and
right,
phase three,
Right.
they're still gonna use our roads.
Okay, all right. I understand. And that's where I talked with Greg to ask Greg what he was comfortable with as far as enough cushion to maintain those roads.
Okay, here is something he just said. Greg said, just say that the contractors will be responsible once road is complete if casino is still under construction. I'll read it again. because
Read that again, Jimmy?
Yeah, I gotta read it myself again. Just say that the contractors will be responsible once road is complete if casino is still under construction.
So in other words, if the road is finished before the casino.
The contractor is responsible for it.
Say that the contractors will be responsible, I got that.
Right.
Once road is complete, got that, if casino is still under construction.
So he's assuming there on that one, he's just making the comment that if the casino is still under construction and the road is finished,
Right.
then this would be in play. But you still got two more phases that's coming down the pike. Who's gonna be responsible for it?
Right, I understand your question. In talking with Greg, he said he's comfortable at a level of $3 million for added to the cost of this project. That would give him the cushion that he needed and probably more than enough to take care and maintain the
Well,
roads.
Let's break down a couple of things. One, I think we had already addressed putting language in this document for Jackson County that this agreement terminates at the completion of the casino. That any other phases, you have to have a separate agreement on how the expenses are going to be covered.
Right.
We don't know when phase two or phase three are going to happen.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we had already discussed that. So my understanding was you were going to have Philip add language that addressed that this project, this only deals with phase one, period.
This,
Well, do we need to
And
put
what you're
something in?
talking about-
Oh, go ahead.
two separate things.
Go ahead, Kim.
Okay, so Greg and I had a discussion, and so Jim, I want to expand upon your $3 million comment, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the vision, if you look down the road, let's say it's successful. I know everybody talks about, well, what if it's not successful? How do we protect ourselves? So what if it is successful? The agreement would bring the road in Williamson County up to the current condition. And we don't know what the traffic pattern will be. We can all pretend that we're road experts and road engineers and we know this road's going to be used in that road. But the truth is we don't know what happens until it happens. But the bottom line is most of the roads making it out to the resort are what we would consider to be country roads. So when Tony is talking about restoring the roads, he's talking about restoring them to their current condition or better, which means they might be a little bit better country roads. Well, if they have the success that they want out there, they're going to have to be converted from country roads to city roads, which means wider roads, perhaps turn lanes added, who knows? And this is what Greg is concerned about, that